29 male. 2 weeks ago, my relationship with Veronica, 27 female, came to an end. We'd been together 3 years. The connection became toxic. She'd gotten increasingly controlling, checking my phone, showing up at my work unannounced, accusing me of cheating if I was 5 minutes late. Because Bethany liked my Instagram post about a band we both follow, she keyed my coworker Bethy's car, which cost Bethy $1,200 in repairs. Veronica laughed when I confronted her, said that Bethany needed to know how to set limits. I informed her that we were done. While she was in her spin class, packed a bag, left a note saying I'd get the rest of my stuff later. Was staying with my buddy Malik until I found a new place. She called me 23 times when she found the note at home. In the end, I said, "You can't just leave." She screamed, "Veronica, it's over. I'll come get my things this weekend when you're at work. Your life will be destroyed if you leave me. I'll make sure you lose everything. Your job, your friends, your family will know what kind of person you really are. Do you intend to harm me? Poses no threat. It's a promise. I'll ruin you. You'll be e.g. me to take you back." Interesting. Could you say that again? What? Your threat about destroying my life. Can you say it again? I want to ensure that I record it correctly. She went quiet. Then document. You're recording me? Yes. Please continue with your threats for my own safety. She hung up and sent a text message 20 minutes later. I wasn't threatening you. I was emotional. Please come home so we can talk. Me?
No, I'm grateful.
We have taken note of your threat. Her? What threat? I never threatened you. Me? The one I recorded. Her? You can't record me without my consent. That's illegal. Me? We live in a one-party consent state. Before calling you back, I talked to a friend who is a lawyer. Radio silence after that, but I knew this wasn't over. Veronica doesn't handle rejection well. Last time I tried to break up with her, year 2, she faked a pregnancy scare that lasted 3 weeks until I demanded to go to the doctor with her. Started documenting everything. Every text, every call, every email. Backed it all up to 3 different cloud services. Something told me I was going to need it. Update 1. Well, she wasn't bluffing. Started small. Change her Netflix password. Petty but whatever. Then she escalated. Monday. Called my mother in tears, claiming that I had left her after she moved our baby. Mom called me confused because she knew I was careful about protection. Sent her screenshots of Veronica's fake pregnancy from last year. Mom blocked Veronica's number. On Tuesday, I announced on the Facebook page of the neighborhood that I was missing and possibly suicidal. Had to call the police to confirm I was fine. They weren't amused when I explained the situation. On Wednesday, I contacted my employer, claiming that I had used company resources for personal gain and stolen money from her. Thank God my boss Gustav knows me well. He forwarded me her email and asked if I needed help filing a police report. The actual escalation is on Thursday. Bethany called me panicked. Someone slashed all 4 of her tires. A face was not visible on the hooded figure that was captured on security footage of the building. We both knew who it was. On Friday, my landlord contacts me. Someone reported a gas leak in my apartment, the one I'd shared with Veronica. The fire department arrived, but found nothing. However, someone called in a wellness check while they were there, claiming that I was threatening to harm myself. The pattern was easy to see. She was systematically trying to destabilize every aspect of my life. Went to the police station with everything documented. Officer Ramirez looked through it all and said, "This is textbook harassment, but without concrete proof it's her. Our hands are tied. Keep documenting. The moment she slips up, we can act." That moment came sooner than expected. 6 in the morning on Saturday, my doorbell camera at the apartment. Yes, I still had access to it. I clearly saw Veronica. She had a can of spray paint and a baseball bat. She spotted the camera, cursed, and left without doing anything. But here's the beautiful part. She was carrying a notebook, and when she saw the camera, she panicked and dropped it. I drove right over right away. The notebook remained concealed behind a potted plant where it had fallen. What I found inside made my blood run cold. Second update. The notebook was a detailed plan, like serial killer level detailed. Before I even attempted to end our relationship, she had been planning this for several months. Page 1. Action plan to change all passwords if he ever attempts to leave. Contact his mother with pregnancy story. Alert his job about theft. Slash the tires on Bethy. Make it look random. File false police reports. Ghastly call. Welfare checks. Destroy his dwelling. Make it appear to be a burglary. Plant drugs in his car. Anonymously contact his ex Harmony and convince her to file false assault charge. Hack his social media and post racist content. Use his work email to sign him up for hundreds of spammy porn sites. It also spanned more than 40 pages. Sketches of my apartment layout, my daily schedule, my family members' phone numbers, Bethy's address, work schedule, and license plate number. Even had a page titled Alibi Planning with fake receipts she was creating. I've never been more terrified in my life. Took photos of every page and drove straight to the police station. Officer Ramirez's eyes went wide as she flipped through it. This is premeditation. This is evidence of conspiracy to commit multiple felonies. We must immediately obtain a temporary restraining order for you. Emergency hearing was set for Monday. In the meantime, they advised me to stay somewhere she wouldn't know about. Malik's cousin owned a vacant Airbnb. I maintained there, but Veronica was not finished. She noticed the notebook was gone Sunday night. The text began. You took something that belongs to me. Me, no response. That was private property. I was taken from you. Return it or I'll report theft to the police. You are unaware of what you have done to her. I would never actually engage in those activities. It was merely fantasy, similar to a journal. Could we please talk? I'm sorry. I need that notebook back. I'll call the police and say you broke into my car to steal it. Please reply. Fine. You want war? You'll get war. I screenshot everything and sent to my lawyer. Yes, by this point I had hired one, which took a good portion of my savings, but Dimitri was well worth the money. Monday came. Time for court. Third update. Despite the packed courthouse, our case was called fairly quickly. Veronica showed up in a conservative dress and looked like a Sunday school teacher with her hair in a bun. I almost laughed. She hadn't worn anything like that in 3 years. She had also hired a lawyer. Some slick L-looking guy named Morrison, who probably cost her parents a fortune. Taking the oath of office is an elderly woman named Judge Holloway. Dimitri presented our case, the recorded threat, the harassment, the vandalism to Bethy's property, and then the notebook. Morrison objected immediately. Honorable member, that notebook was taken from the vehicle of my client. Dimitri, it's inadmissible. The notebook was thrown onto the property of the defendant while Ms. Vasquez was attempting to vandalize it. We have video evidence. We played the doorbell footage. Veronica's face was as bright as the sun. The bat, the spray paint, the notebook falling. Judge Holloway began perusing the notebook after putting on her reading glasses. The courtroom was silent except for the sound of turning pages. I observed her expression shift from one of neutrality to one of complete disgust. Ms. Vasquez, the judge finally said, "Did you write this?" Morrison tried to interject, but the judge shut him down with a look. Veronica squared her shoulders. It's not what it looks like really, because it looks like a 40-page detailed plan to systematically destroy another person's life, including she flipped to a page plans to plant cocaine in his vehicle and call in an anonymous tip. I was just working through my feelings by planning multiple felonies. After everything I had done for him, he would leave me. And there it was, the mask slipping. Morrison tried damage control. Honor, my client was experiencing emotional distress. The notebook was never meant to be acted upon. Judge Holloway held up the vandalism page. Except that she has already cut M. The Wheels of Bethany Thompson. That's on page 12 of her emotional journal. She checked it off. Even before, I hadn't noticed the check marks. Several items were checked off, including the welfare checks, the false reports, and Bethy's tires. The judge continued reading aloud. Utilize married women's site photos to create phony dating profiles. Send his employer screenshots. She looked up. MS. This is a criminal conspiracy, Vasquez. Veronica misplaced it. He made me do this. He was going to leave. I gave him everything. 3 years of my life. I foolishly decorated his apartment. I made it look like I liked his boring friends. I ought to be compensated. He doesn't get to just walk away. Morrison looked like he wanted to disappear. Judge Holloway. Ms. Vasquez, are you currently under the care of a mental health professional? I don't need therapy. I require justice. He exploited me. The judge turned to me. Mr. Fitzgerald, since you applied for this order, has Miss Vasquez attempted to get in touch with you? Yes, Honorable, I showed the text from Sunday night, including a threat of war if you didn't return her conspiracy notebook. Yes, Honorable, decision came quickly. Permanent restraining order granted. 5 years without communication, she had to stay 500 feet away from me. My home, my work, and any establishment I was known to frequent. The judge also ordered her to stay away from Bethany and surrender any weapons. But then, Judge Holloway did something I didn't expect. I'm also forwarding this evidence to the district attorney's office. Miss Vasquez, you may want to prepare for criminal charges. Conspiracy to commit false imprisonment, filing false police reports, vandalism, harassment, and conspiracy to plant narcotics are all felonies in this state. Veronica went pale. Morrison whispered urgently in her ear. As we left the courtroom, Veronica couldn't help herself. This isn't over, she screamed. You'll regret this. I'll make you pay. Judge Holloway. Ms. Vasquez, you just violated the order I issued 30 seconds ago. Bailiff. And as a result, Veronica was detained in front of everyone for contempt of court. Last update. The criminal case moved more quickly than anticipated. The DA loved having such clear evidence. Veronica was charged with criminal harassment, vandalism, Bethy's tires, filing false police reports, conspiracy to commit false imprisonment, conspiracy to plant narcotics. They found she'd actually purchased cocaine already, contempt of court. Her parents hired a superior attorney. She was persuaded to accept a plea deal by this one. She got 18 months in county jail, suspended to 6 months with good behavior, 3 years probation, mandatory psychological evaluation and treatment, $3,600 restitution to Bethany, $10,000 fine, 200 hours community service. She also has a permanent criminal record. Now, that marketing degree isn't worth much with a felony conviction. Her parents cut her off after seeing the notebook. Her mom reached out to apologize to me, so they had no idea how disturbed their daughter was. Apparently, this wasn't her first stalking incident. She'd done something similar to a high school ex, but they'd managed to keep it quiet. Bethany and I were friends now, bonded over the shared trauma. She's dating someone new who treats her right. Even joke about starting a Survivors of Veronica support group. I'm in therapy. Not gonna lie, this mess with my head. Trust issues, hypervigilance, the works. But Dr. Catan is helping. Started dating again last month. Very slowly, very carefully. My background checks might become my new normal. Veronica served 4 months. The county was overpopulated. Got out and immediately violated probation by creating a fake Instagram to view my stories. When I reported it, her probation officer was informed. Back to jail for another 60 days. When I last heard from her mother, Veronica was still blaming me for ruining her life, working in a call center, and living in a halfway house. Zero accountability, still the victim in her own mind. The notebook was returned to me after the trial. Why? I'm not sure. I suppose evidence. I store in my safety deposit box. My therapist says it's a reminder that I survived, that I trusted my instincts and protected myself. Sometimes I flip through it and shudder at what could have happened if I hadn't recorded that first threat. If I hadn't documented everything, if she'd been slightly better at planning. The learned lesson: when someone tells you who they are, believe them. When they threaten to destroy your life, take it seriously and document. To anyone dealing with a similar situation, you're not crazy. You're not overreacting. Go with your gut. Get support. Get out and maybe invest in a good doorbell camera.